Now, in recent weeks, there's been a flurry of media debate, including on this show, over the release of the Hollywood film 50 Shades of Grey. The movie is about a young woman's love affair with a man who indulges in violent sex, but many would say it represents the mainstreaming of softcore porn. It's also sparked a debate about whether such films truly empower a woman, or do they drastically distort the way in which we view our bodies? And here to talk to me about that today is Sophie Bramly, a French author and producer of female erotica. Sophie, thanks for being with us. How would you describe female erotica? I mean, what makes it different to pornography?
It's really nothing much. It's the way the camera is focusing on the subjects. Most of the time, men-directed movies are directed at parts of the bodies and genders that are exciting to men, i.e. If it's a heterosexual movie, the camera will be focusing on whatever is exciting to a man.
It's very much driven by men, and it's for men, isn't it?
It is for men. I mean, it's only normal. It's not something to criticize because they went into porn to get more excitement, and it's part of their fantasy. What struck me was that there wasn't the equivalent made by women where, they would have camera angles made to cater their desires or their fantasies.
Give me an example of exactly what you mean by that. I mean, is it more flattering to a woman? Or, I mean, how do you...
No, it's not really about flattering. What struck me first was men don't care about women's orgasms. So the fact that they're incredibly phony to look at doesn't make any difference to a man because it's not his point, really. For women, when the woman's part is so phony, it's really hard to relate to it because, yeah, she moans a lot, but it doesn't look anything like the real thing. So there's no emotion, and we do need that too, as strange as it may seem for porn movies. Yeah.
How did you get involved with making erotica?
Well, what happened was that I was working in the internet industries in music, and I was used to knowing that the internet was 50% towards X-related or adult content, basically, and then one day I realized there was so much for men and nothing for women, and how come 51% of the population not have anything to look at on the internet? Did they not care? Could it be that women did not care about sexuality? It really struck me, and I just started investigating, and then I felt like Joan of Arc or something. I just had to do it.
Now, one thing that's happened in recent decades is the mainstreaming of porn, particularly thanks to the internet. I mean, we do see it everywhere. But, what impact is it having on women's bodies? Because there was an article in the New York Times recently written by the author Jennifer Weiner about the fact that it's had a rather negative impact on the way in which we view our bodies. For instance, many women now have Brazilians to remove all pubic hair, and there's even surgery on a labia to ensure that it's symmetrical.
I'm not sure this whole thing only has to do with the internet. I think basically there are always new markets, and the industry likes to cater to women. I mean, the more you infantilize women, the more business you get out of it, basically. I think that, for instance, talking about the hair, removing hair has become... it has been said that it was mainly due to porn movies. I don't think so, mainly because only 1/3 of the women watch porn movies, so it wouldn't be enough to...
But isn't it the case that maybe their male partners are insisting that it would be better for their sex lives if indeed, the hair was removed?
Well, I think that a woman that would do that to please her man is a woman that is not really in charge of her own pleasure, and therefore there's no need for her to watch porn or just worry about these issues because she has decided that his pleasure came first. It is a way to treat women as children because without a pubic hair, she looks like a child. So I'm particularly concerned because we talk so much about pedophilia. How can on one hand you'd be so severe, and I understand that with all that has to do with pedophilia, and on the other hand, make sure that women's bodies really resemble children bodies. There's a major confusion there.
Can you be a feminist and watch pornography?
I do think so. I think that if you are a feminist, you definitely need to watch them and make them. Only to, I mean, it's a power. Sex is definitely a power.
But the industry is very, I mean, it's, you know, it's for women involved in the industry, there's many problems. I mean, you know, you've got horrific cases of many women who suffer as a result of working in the industry.
I would say that it occurs in many industries. I think that actresses in regular movies have some issues too because...
But there's exploitation.
Everything is exploitation. That's why I think we need to get involved and we need to make our own. And that's the only way to change things around.
Sophie Bramly, I'm terribly sorry we've run out of time. Thank you so much for being with us.